Freemasonry, like any deep and meaningful journey, is one of transformation, growth, and a sense of belonging that transcends the everyday. It's a path where individuals can reflect on life's bigger questions while seeking to become better versions of themselves, not just for personal gain, but to leave a lasting positive impact on the world. At its core, it's about human connection and the pursuit of personal and collective excellence. Imagine the medieval stonemasons who built grand cathedrals. Their work wasn't just a profession, it was an art, a commitment to something greater than themselves. They carved stone, but they were also shaping something far deeper, an approach to life that values mastery, patience, and integrity. Over time, Freemasonry evolved from those skilled craftsmen to become a fraternity of thinkers, dreamers, and moral architects, focused not just on building structures of stone, but on building lives filled with purpose. To be a Freemason is to embark on a journey of self-improvement, but it's not a journey you take alone. From the moment a man enters the lodge, he is welcomed into a brotherhood, a global family that stretches across time and space, connecting him with those who have walked this path for centuries. Here, titles and ranks disappear, and what matters is character and the shared commitment to become better, to learn from one another, and to contribute to the betterment of society. Freemasonry uses tools of the ancient stonemasons, the square, the compass, the level, not just as relics of a bygone era, but as symbols with profound meaning. The square represents honesty and integrity, the compass, self-control, and the balance of life. These are more than metaphors. They are guiding principles for how to live a life that is grounded in virtue and compassion. The journey is marked by progression through 3 degrees, each inviting deeper reflection and personal growth. The first degree, the entered apprentice, is where it all begins. It's a humbling moment, acknowledging that we are all rough stones, imperfect, but full of potential. With time, learning, and introspection, we begin to shape ourselves, just as the stonemasons shaped raw materials into towering cathedrals. As a fellow craft, the second degree, the emphasis shifts toward knowledge. Intellectual growth becomes key. Here, we understand that life isn't just about raw strength or labor, but about wisdom, thoughtfulness, and the pursuit of understanding. Finally, the Master Mason degree is the culmination, a stage where we confront the mysteries of life itself, mortality, virtue, and the legacy we leave behind. It's a reminder that while life is fleeting, our impact through acts of kindness, wisdom, and integrity endures. Much of the magic of Freemasonry lies not in grand rituals or secret rites, but in the simple, quiet moments of fellowship. Imagine sitting in a lodge where men from all walks of life, different ages, backgrounds, and beliefs, gather to reflect, to learn, and to grow together. These conversations, sometimes philosophical, sometimes personal, are where the heart of Freemasonry beats strongest. It's in these shared experiences that bonds are formed and lives are changed. Yet, Freemasonry is not just about self-improvement. It's about improving the world around us. Freemasons are known for their deep commitment to charity, and this is no afterthought. It's a fundamental part of the Masonic mission. From building hospitals to providing scholarships, Masons believe in the power of small, quiet acts of kindness to make the world a more just and compassionate place. In fact, many of the charitable works carried out by Masonic lodges happen behind the scenes, without fanfare or public recognition. For them, true charity isn't about glory, it's about making a difference. There's something profoundly inspiring about this approach. In a world often obsessed with recognition and fame, Freemasonry's humble dedication to service is a reminder of what it means to live a life of purpose. It's not about grand gestures, it's about the small, consistent efforts to uplift others, to build a legacy not of material wealth but of love, support, and positive change. Freemasonry has also been deeply intertwined with some of history's most pivotal moments. While conspiracy theories abound, the true influence of Freemasonry lies not in secret control, but in the values it promotes: liberty, equality, fraternity. These ideals found fertile ground in the minds of revolutionaries, philosophers, and leaders who shaped the modern world. From George Washington to Simón Bolívar, many historical figures found inspiration in Masonic principles, using them as a compass to navigate the complexities of leadership, governance, and human rights. In essence, Freemasonry offers a path to live deliberately and with intention. It's not a religion, nor does it seek to impose specific beliefs, but it does encourage its members to seek a higher truth, to live morally, and to respect the dignity and worth of every person. By coming together in fraternity, men are challenged to reflect on their own lives, their place in the world, and the contributions they can make to create a better future. Freemasonry's enduring appeal is its timeless relevance. Whether in the 18th century or the 21st, the quest for meaning, self-improvement, and the betterment of society remains as important as ever. In today's fast-paced, often disconnected world, Freemasonry provides a space for reflection, for growth, and for building genuine, lasting connections. At its heart, Freemasonry is not about secrets. It's about the shared human experience. It's about recognizing that while we may be imperfect, we have the capacity to grow, to learn, and to make a positive impact. As the fraternity continues into the future, its message of brotherhood, charity, and personal transformation will continue to resonate with those who seek not just to build better lives for themselves, but to build a better world for all. Freemasonry's legacy isn't just preserved in the pages of history or in the symbolic rituals passed down through the ages. It's alive in the men who choose to carry its torch today, in the decisions they make, the values they uphold, and the communities they serve. For many, Freemasonry represents a lifelong commitment to self-discovery and moral growth. But it also embodies something more: the profound belief that by bettering oneself, one can better the world around them. Think of the quiet, transformative moments that happen in a Masonic lodge. Picture the shared reflections, where men open up about their struggles, triumphs, and personal journeys. In a world that often feels increasingly fragmented, these moments of vulnerability and honesty are a rare gift. They allow members to connect on a deeper level, fostering relationships built on trust and mutual respect. This bond isn't fleeting. It often lasts a lifetime, creating a support system that goes beyond the lodge and into the wider world. There's a beauty in how Freemasonry bridges generations. In a lodge, a young man might sit beside someone his father's or grandfather's age, and yet they are equals. It's a place where wisdom is passed down, not in a didactic or rigid way, but through shared stories, life lessons, and the common pursuit of betterment. Younger members learn that life isn't about perfection. It's about striving, learning from mistakes, and growing along the way. Older members find meaning in mentoring, guiding the next generation with the understanding that they too are still learning and growing. What is particularly powerful about Freemasonry is that it doesn't demand quick answers or immediate success. It encourages introspection, an ongoing process of self-evaluation that unfolds slowly over time. In a world driven by instant gratification, Freemasonry teaches patience. The rough stone can't be polished in a day. It requires consistent effort, discipline, and most importantly, the willingness to confront one's own flaws. As you progress through the degrees of Freemasonry, the lessons become deeper, more nuanced. The tools of the stonemasons, initially presented as simple instruments for measuring and shaping stone, become rich metaphors for life itself. The square reminds us to square our actions with virtue. The compass teaches balance, not just between work and life, but between our desires and our responsibilities, between ambition and humility. And the level symbolizes equality, a reminder that no matter our status or achievements, we all walk the same earth. Beyond personal growth, Freemasonry's commitment to philanthropy is one of its most compelling aspects. It's not charity for charity's sake, but a genuine belief that the world can be made better, one kind act at a time. The Shriners Hospitals, Masonic scholarships, disaster relief efforts, all of these initiatives stem from a deeply held conviction that a life of service is a life well lived. Masons are taught that while self-improvement is crucial, it must be paired with outward action. A refined character doesn't exist in a vacuum. It radiates outward, touching the lives of others in meaningful ways. And yet, much of this charitable work goes unnoticed by the broader public. Freemasons rarely seek recognition or applause for their efforts. Instead, they believe that true charity is quiet and humble, performed not for accolades, but out of a genuine desire to help. It's this quiet service, this unseen dedication, that speaks to the heart of Freemasonry's values. The fraternity's acts of kindness are not grand gestures for the sake of being noticed, but thoughtful, impactful contributions meant to uplift those in need. Freemasonry also carries with it a sense of legacy. When you join the fraternity, you become part of something far greater than yourself. You step into a lineage that has included some of history's most remarkable figures, individuals who, like you, were searching for purpose, for understanding, for a way to live with integrity, and leave a positive mark on the world. From political leaders to artists, from philosophers to innovators, Freemasonry has quietly influenced the course of human history, not by secret control, but by inspiring individuals to think deeply, act justly, and live virtuously. George Washington, for instance, famously took his oath of office on a Masonic Bible, but his Masonic values weren't confined to ceremonial moments. They shaped his leadership, his dedication to liberty, and his belief in the power of unity. Similarly, figures like Benjamin Franklin and Simon Bolivar drew from their Masonic experiences, using the fraternity's ideals of equality and freedom to shape revolutions and reform nations. But for every famous Mason, there are thousands of men who carry these values into their everyday lives, quietly making a difference in their communities, in their workplaces, and in their families. Freemasonry teaches that true influence doesn't come from power or position. It comes from living a life of principle, a life that, like a carefully constructed cathedral, stands as a testament to what is possible when one is guided by virtue. In an increasingly divided and chaotic world, Freemasonry offers something profoundly needed: a space for reflection, for connection, and for purpose. It provides a sanctuary from the noise, a place where men can come together not to compete, but to grow, not to tear each other down, but to lift each other up. It's a fraternity of builders, not of walls, but of bridges, not of monuments, but of moral character. And as Freemasonry looks to the future, its relevance will only continue to grow. In a world searching for meaning, for connection, and for ethical guidance, the principles of Freemasonry, brotherhood, charity, integrity, will remain a beacon. It will continue to inspire new generations to look inward, to challenge themselves, and to strive for a higher purpose. The lodge doors are always open to those willing to embark on this journey, to those ready to ask the tough questions, to face their own imperfections, and to build a life not of fleeting success, but of lasting significance. In the end, Freemasonry's greatest secret isn't hidden away in rituals or symbols. Its real magic lies in the transformative power of brotherhood, in the shared commitment to becoming better men, and in the simple yet profound belief that by improving ourselves, we improve the world around us. It's a journey worth taking, a legacy worth building, and a path that, for centuries, has quietly shaped lives of purpose and meaning. Freemasonry at its heart is a story about personal transformation and brotherhood, an ancient path that still resonates deeply with modern lives. It is, quite simply, a journey. But unlike many journeys, this one isn't focused on reaching a final destination. It's about who you become along the way. And it's about doing that with others who are walking beside you, each person striving to shape their own life into something more meaningful, more connected, more aligned with their values. When you first step into a Masonic lodge, it might feel a bit mysterious, perhaps even daunting. There's an air of tradition, of symbols that have been passed down through the ages, and rituals that, at first glance, can seem puzzling. But as you immerse yourself in the fraternity, you begin to understand that these symbols are not just relics of the past, they are guides for the future. The square, the compass, the level, these tools which once shaped stone, now shape lives. Freemasonry asks its members to reflect on their own moral compass, to think about their actions, and to strive always to live with integrity. There's something powerfully humbling in this. It's not about being perfect, but about the continual effort to be better. Each ritual, each symbol is an invitation to pause, to look inward, and to ask, am I living the life I want to live? Am I contributing to the world in a way that matters? This is where the essence of Freemasonry comes alive, not in the formality of the lodge, but in these quiet, personal reflections. It's where the historical rituals meet the very real, very present work of self-examination. Each degree a Mason achieves, each step in the journey, is a deeper call to introspection and growth. The tools of the craft become personal reminders. The square that asks us to align our actions with our values, the compass that encourages us to draw boundaries that keep our desires in check, and the level which reminds us that we are all equal in the human journey. But Freemasonry isn't just an individual pursuit, it is a brotherhood after all, and there is a magic that happens when men come together with a shared purpose. Within the lodge, men of different ages, backgrounds, and beliefs meet on common ground. The divisions that often separate us in the outside world, whether social, political, or economic, melt away. What remains is a sense of unity, a shared commitment to personal growth, and the desire to make a positive difference, both within ourselves and in the world around us. This connection, this brotherhood, is one of the most profound gifts of Freemasonry. It's not just about finding community, but about finding a space where vulnerability, honesty, and reflection are encouraged. It's a place where deep conversations can take place, not about surface matters, but about the things that really matter: character, purpose, legacy. And for many, that sense of brotherhood becomes a lifelong bond. In a world that often feels disconnected, where we're constantly moving from one thing to the next, Freemasonry offers a steady anchor. The friendships formed in the lodge often extend far beyond its walls, creating a network of support that lasts a lifetime. It's a bond forged not just by shared experiences, but by a shared journey. A journey that calls for self-improvement and for lifting others along the way. One of the most powerful aspects of Freemasonry is the way it connects past, present, and future. When you join, you're not just stepping into a fraternity, you're stepping into a tradition that stretches back centuries, one that has shaped the lives of some of history's greatest thinkers, leaders, and artists. And yet, Freemasonry remains as relevant today as it was in the 18th century or the medieval times of the stonemasons. Why? Because the values at the heart of Freemasonry, integrity, compassion, wisdom, are timeless. They speak to something universal in the human experience. In every era, men have sought to live lives of meaning and purpose, to connect with something greater than themselves. Freemasonry provides a framework for doing just that, while also offering the freedom to interpret those values in a way that resonates with each individual. For all its tradition, Freemasonry is not stuck in the past. It evolves, just as society evolves, adapting to meet the needs of modern men who are searching for answers in a world that often feels uncertain. Younger generations are drawn to the fraternity not just for its history, but for the opportunity it offers to slow down, to reflect, to think deeply about what it means to live a good life. In a time when technology and social media often drive superficial connections, Freemasonry provides depth, a space for real, meaningful dialogue. Freemasonry also offers an outlet for service. At its core, the fraternity is not just about self-improvement, but about making the world better. Its charitable work is vast, from hospitals and scholarships to disaster relief and community support. But what makes this work truly remarkable is the humility with which it is carried out. Freemasons believe in quiet charity, helping others not for recognition or reward, but because it's the right thing to do. This ethos reflects the heart of Freemasonry, to give without expectation, to serve without seeking credit. Perhaps one of the most profound teachings of Freemasonry is that life's greatest achievements are not material. The cathedrals built by stonemasons centuries ago were grand, awe-inspiring feats of architecture. But what Freemasonry asks us to build today is not of stone, it is of character. The legacies we leave behind are not measured in wealth or status, but in the impact we have on others, in the ways we choose to live our lives with integrity and compassion. Freemasonry calls on its members to build something lasting, not a monument, but a life well lived. It reminds us that while we may be just one person, our actions, our choices, and our character can shape the world around us in profound ways. And in doing so, it offers a path not just to personal growth, but to collective betterment. A way for each of us to contribute to a more compassionate, thoughtful, and just world. At its core, Freemasonry is about transformation, about turning the rough stone of our lives into something polished, something purposeful. It's about recognizing that the journey toward becoming our best selves never really ends, and that we are always in the process of building ourselves, building our communities, building a better future. And as each Mason continues this journey, they do so with the knowledge that they are not alone. They are part of a brotherhood, a global community that spans generations, united by the belief that together we can create something extraordinary. Freemasonry is not just a fraternity, it is a way of life. It's a way of living with intention, with purpose, and with the understanding that the legacy we leave is not in the buildings we construct, but in the lives we touch and the principles we uphold. And in this journey of self-discovery, self-improvement, and service, we find not just our own better selves, but the shared humanity that connects us all. Freemasonry's appeal endures because at its core, it speaks to our deepest human needs, the need for purpose, the desire for connection, and the search for meaning in a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain. It invites its members into a lifelong journey of self-exploration and improvement, a process that begins with a simple yet profound acknowledgement. None of us is complete. We are all works in progress, rough stones in need of refinement, and Freemasonry provides the tools to shape our character with intention. This journey is deeply personal, but it's never solitary. From the moment a man enters a lodge, he joins a brotherhood that has spanned centuries and continents, a fellowship of men united not by wealth or status, but by the shared pursuit of virtue and truth. There's something incredibly grounding about that, knowing you are part of a lineage that has shaped leaders, thinkers, artists, and everyday people who sought to live with integrity. Freemasonry is a place where ideals are put into practice, where men,